Am I the antagonist for not wearing a bra to sleep on family vacation? I, F16, had gone through puberty at a young age and have grown in places. My parents know I choose to stay comfortable and not wear a bra to sleep as I cover myself with a sweater or oversized shirt at home. My mother's side of the family decided to rent an Airbnb and do Thanksgiving together in 2021. I have 2 female cousins near the same age as me and are developing as well, and 1 male cousin my age also. My aunt, F45, commented on my body hair and my breasts while I was swimming, saying, "Your boobs shouldn't be sagging already, you're only 15. I defended myself and snapped back saying, "Implants sag over time, you know," and she stormed off. The next day, everyone is eating dinner in different areas of the house when my female cousin, F15 at the time, went to get water and came back to the table in tears. My cousins and I were all confused, and my aunt stormed over and yelled at me for convincing my female cousins it's okay to not wear a bra to sleep. My older sister, F21, stuck up for me and my cousins, and my aunt proceeded to take her shirt and bra off during dinner in front of my other aunt and her husband. She then asked me how I would feel if my male cousins didn't wear boxers, and I replied I would never know because I don't sexualize my cousins. She got even more upset and said that'll be the last time we saw her or my cousin. Am I in the wrong? Your aunt went topless at the dinner table? I think you found your crazy aunt. She shouldn't be making those type of comments about a 15-year-old. Sleeping without a bra is perfectly normal. You are not in the wrong at all. Am I the antagonist for saying my GF cannot climb the mountain with us? My girlfriend's friend, Rosie, and I turn out to both love mountaineering. We've become such great friends from our common interest. We have the goal of doing Denali together by the end of next year and have been training by doing Rainier, along with general conditioning, etc. And we will do a Denali prep course together probably in February-April 2023. Now my girlfriend is fit, that's not the issue, she just completely lacks the relevant experience to come along. She's come with me twice, to MT Adams and MT Hood. She knows the very basics, but still we're not going with a guide or anything, so I don't want to be responsible for her safety. She's very mad that me and Rosie exclude her from these trips. How will she learn if I don't teach her, etc.? But I think it's healthy to have separate interests in a relationship. She doesn't need to be a part of every part of my life. Am I the antagonist? It really sounds like you are trying to get some alone time with your girlfriend's girlfriend. It seems very strange. Separate interests are great. Lots of trips alone in the wilderness with your girlfriend's girlfriend? Not so much. Am I the antagonist for telling a single mom that I hate her kids and couldn't care less about them? I, 22 female, rent a room in a 5-bedroom house. My landlord Alice, 34 female, lives downstairs with her 2 kids, A, 6 female, and B, 4 male. Rent was cheap, and I'm in college, so. Shortly after moving, I realized that Alice expected me to babysit for free while she runs her own business from home. I don't mind kids, but I don't babysit. Even if wanted to between work and studies, I have no time. I made this clear before I moved in. I told her she could ask the other tenants. She said they were both men and had to work, and that it made more sense to her for a girl to watch her kids. WTF? A little about her kids, they're wild. 0 manners and gross. Her son would climb on the dining table and start jumping near our food. He would pick his nose and stick his hands in everyone's food. Since moving in, he has stepped on my food, peed in my potted plants, and rammed his bike into my ankle, giving me a tiny fracture. She allows him to ride his bike in the kitchen. Her daughter would keep screaming and banging my door when I'm studying. She stole my shampoo and emptied the entire bottle into the drain. And I shit you not, in one of her tantrums, she pooped on the staircase right outside my room, which I accidentally stepped on. She never disciplined them. These are just a few points. I don't blame these kids in any way for their behavior. They simply don't know better as their mom neglects them the whole day to work on her business. She once didn't feed them the entire day, and I ended up having to feed her kids despite being exhausted from work. I have asked her to mind them countless times, but she always plays the single mom card. For the record, she's not a single mom. Her husband lives 5 minutes away and the house is actually his name. He pays for everything. I put up with this shit for 6 months until one day I lost it when I found her son had completely destroyed the cake I baked for my BF's birthday. I think I unleashed all the pent-up frustration at her. She said if I really cared about her kids, I would understand how hard it is to raise them. I said I don't give a shit about her kids. If anything, I hated them for making my home life miserable. She started screaming and fake crying, telling me how hard her life is as a single mom working full-time. I ignored her, packed my stuff and left for a friend's place. I'm currently making other living arrangements, but my words are kinda haunting me. Furthermore, I don't really hate her kids. Besides, I actually feel sorry for them that their mom can't be bothered to raise them right. I've lived with kids before, and I've never ever felt this sort of resentment. None of my previous landlords allowed their kids to run wild like this. I guess I feel guilty of my poor choice of words and my fit of anger. So came here to see if my anger was justified or do I need to apologize to her? Am I the antagonist? Edit, guys, there's no CPS where I live. There are similar orgs, but only focus on extreme cases. I tried calling a couple, and they said this doesn't qualify as the mom is home 24/7. Cops are corrupt as hell and don't give a shit about family matters. We live in a developing country. You're a paying tenant, not an au pair, not that they deserve such shitty treatment. You probably could have been calmer and not said something so mean, but it's perfectly understandable given how miserable they all made your life. Her children are not your responsibility. Am I the antagonist for telling my mom not to act so shocked after warning her multiple times? My 14 female mom has recently forced me to complete my Silver Award project. I had no time. I was juggling online language courses, completing some high school summer credits, etc. Furthermore, I was a busy bitch. At the beginning of the project, I told her multiple times I wasn't happy and didn't want to do the project because I was so busy. I was forced to miss out on important plans as well, my girlfriend's birthday celebration, a vacation trip with my friend group they had been planning for months, and turning at a fantastic company that could have potentially offered me a scholarship, etc. to work on the project. My mom has grounded me for weeks just because I told her that I hated this whole thing. I tried talking to her about it, but she never listens. I couldn't even catch a break. Furthermore, I ended up going way over the hour minimum of the project. 50 hours was the minimum, I got about 80. Plus all the undocumented hours of research she made me do. I was miserable. She didn't even let me pick my own project, she chose the project herself. Silver Awards are supposed to be fun. I have told her multiple times I hated the whole project, and she always yelled at me. Anyway, my mom recently unexpectedly dragged me to a meeting with some Daisy troop and demanded that I told them about my experience with earning my Silver Award honestly. So I did. I told them that it took up a lot of my time and I had to miss out on important plans. I didn't sugarcoat it. Furthermore, I told them if they wanted to do the Silver Award, they should make sure they have the time for it, and it should be their choice, not their parents'. I went on to explain how to choose an idea they would have fun with, how to connect with others, and more advice. My mom stood there like she just got shot. After the meeting, she dragged me to the car and yelled at me. How dare I lie to those young girls? I told her that I explained my experience truthfully, as she said. She said my answer was unbelievable and unexpected. I told her not to act so shocked because I literally told her I hated this shit on many occasions, and she chose not to listen. Did she expect me to show up to that Daisy meeting and act like I had bundles of fun? I may have been an asshole for telling the troop about my experience, but I didn't want them to have the same one as me because I was miserable. Am I the antagonist here? Update: the troop leader pulled me aside after and told me she liked my speech. She said she wholeheartedly agrees because she didn't enjoy her silver award either as a kid. It sounds like your mom is pushing you to participate in things she wants to participate in. If your dad is in the picture, perhaps he could help you. It sounds like you talked to your troop leader, and they sound supportive, so hopefully with their help you can get this all straightened out. Am I the antagonist for threatening to evict my SM and SS? So, my 18 female dad, 45M, and I have lived together since my mom passed away 7 years ago. They bought a house together, and after she passed, I inherited her half of the house. Next year, I'm moving out for college, and my dad's fiance, 39, her daughter, 14, and their dog, 2M, are moving in. Our house has 3 floors. My room's on the 2nd floor. I chose it specifically because it has many windows and I like light. I was also able to make it so that not only it could become my safe haven, but my cats, 6 female, as well. The 3rd floor has an independent bathroom, is separated into a room with only 1 window, and another one that could work as a sort of game room or office with a little nook on the side that we padded. I assumed that my stepsister would be moving there since it's bigger, she would have her own bathroom, and that nook is perfect for their dog, who likes small places much more than my cat. When I was packing up my things to start the move, my dad started bringing boxes in. I asked what they were, and he said they were my stepsister's things, that he was putting them there for when she moved into my room. I tried to keep as calm as possible, asking him why he didn't consult me about this since it was my room, and if it wouldn't be better for her to stay in the other room. He said he didn't talk to me because it was his house, and I'd be leaving anyway. So I reminded him that I was in fact co-owner of the house, that I'd still be coming back, and that this room is my cat's safe haven, who would have to stay here since I can't have her at the dorms, and I didn't want to disrupt her even more than she already would be with a dog in the house. She doesn't like dogs. My dad scoffed and said if I wanted to pull that card I should have been paying bills, and I completely blew up. I told him that while I didn't pay bills, I cleaned, cooked, and did laundry on my own for 5 years while working a 60-hour week for school so I could get a full-ride scholarship, which I did. I told him that without me, this house wouldn't even be livable, and he can't just dismiss that. He said none of that matters now since I'd be moving away, so I did something that I'm not sure if I should have done. I went out the next day and used some money I had saved up to buy security cameras, installed them in my room, then went to my dad. I showed him the live feed and said that SS would not be moving into my room, and my room wouldn't be disturbed, or I'd evict my stepmom and stepsister. Legally, I can't evict him, but I can evict them. If my cameras are removed, they get evicted. If they do not comply, they get evicted. My dad was fuming, called me an AH and accused me of wanting to ruin his happiness. I feel like I may have gone a tad too far here. Am I the antagonist? Edit: I gave my stepmom a call because we've always been civil before this and explained the situation to her because I didn't want to deal with my dad as of now. Both her and my stepsister understand my side completely and told me they weren't made aware of this. My stepsister has admitted she's always planned to move upstairs since her dog likes it, and she enjoys the independence and extra privacy she would have, especially since she has anxiety and often needs time to just be alone and recharge. If they move in, she's going to have a serious talk with my dad. It won't be on his terms. She said that in the event that the move happens, they'll make sure my cat is well taken care of and my room left undisturbed. I kind of feel guilty for assuming they knew already, but I feel much better now knowing that they're on my side. Why would anyone think it is all right to move someone else into your room without asking? Your mother willed you half the house, and your father should respect it. Your dad isn't thinking about your feelings at all. Perhaps, if you want so much control over the house, you could ask him if he wants to buy you out of your share. It's good that your stepmom and sister are on your side and are supportive. Am I the antagonist for threatening to never talk to my parents again if they tell my fiance about my past when I was bullied? I was severely bullied in middle school. Nothing really physical, but a lot of torment. People were cruel to me and spread all sorts of terrible rumors about me. My social life was destitute, and those were some very hard years. Things eventually improved once I started defending myself and people got bored with me, but I get angry whenever I think about this to this day, and I'm ashamed of myself for letting it happen for so long and still despise those that were cruel to me. I never talk about this since I'm too ashamed. I had a girlfriend in my second year of college, and the relationship was amazing at first. One night, we were talking about past bad memories about school, and I ended up opening to her about my past bullying. I let it all out and I cried. She embraced me and consoled me and made me chicken parmesan, my favorite meal at the time. I felt so loved and relieved after opening up, but she started getting distant after that. She wouldn't reply to my snaps nearly as fast, and we were going out less. She ended up cheating on me at a frat party a month later. She fucked 2 guys. I found out from a mutual friend the next morning and immediately dumped her, but I took it awful and was devastated. I was in an awful state and nearly failed all of my classes that semester. Furthermore, I wanted to die. Still can't eat chicken parm to this day. I ended up transferring out of state for a fresh start. I was angry for so long, but with time I realized that I killed her attraction to me, and this was bound to happen since I trauma dumped to her. Furthermore, I've since graduated and stayed here since I got a great job. I met an amazing woman who restored my faith in humanity. She makes me so happy, and I want to spend the rest of my life with her. I recently proposed in June, and she said yes. With us engaged and her moving into my house, I thought it was time for her to meet my parents. She's coming with me in September to go to this fall festival in my hometown, but I had to go home last week for another reason. I told my parents that they'd finally be meeting her. I gave them a talk about what to expect, but told them that they cannot ever discuss my past issues with bullying. She is never to find out, and neither can any future grandchildren. When they asked why, I told them that she would lose attraction to me, and I'd get a repeat of what happened with my ex. My mom said she won't be compliant in hiding such a big part of my life, and that she can't believe I'm still stuck in the past. I told her if they tell my fiance, I will go full NC with them for the rest of my life, and I would have to break up with my fiance to prevent future heartbreak. I don't think she'd ever cheat on me, but I love her too much to make her stay with someone she's not attracted to. Furthermore, I ended up leaving and stayed with a friend until I flew home. I called my mom last night and talking to her, and she said she doesn't know if she wants to keep a relationship with someone who forces her to lie. I think you need to go to therapy. A healthy relationship has room for being vulnerable and communication. Your ex didn't cheat because you trauma dumped on her. She cheated because she is a cheater. You need to be vulnerable in a relationship for it to be successful in the long run. Please make sure you open up and talk to your finance. Please get some help before you burn yourself out.